full screen. Alrighty. Okay, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back. Technical difficulties every day, it feels like. But we're here. We're back in it. Make sure you say what's up if you're here. See who we're dealing with. We're going to get started very, very shortly. Very, very shortly. Let's see what we got going on here. Cool. All right. We got Grant Invest in the house. That's all we need. Grant, welcome to the party. So let's go ahead and get into it. Yesterday, let's start with reviewing some of yesterday's price action, yesterday's plan. So we'll scroll down. I assume that you have this document, Grant, already. If you don't, click on the link in the description of the stream. I believe it's there. It's in my stand store. So yesterday's daily plan. I mentioned the two major liquidity areas. We actually came down and had a perfect tap of that shelf yesterday on ES. Okay, so we reached out. I mentioned that we could do a higher low here with the confluence at the bottom of this, and that's exactly what we did. OG Trade, welcome, man. So we had a perfect confluence here, right? So this was one of the likely scenarios from yesterday, right, for downside, and we traversed this node extremely nicely. Really good example of why this works so well, right? If you don't recall, go ahead and read what I wrote yesterday. Okay. But yeah, nice little shelf there on ES that we tapped. What else was I going to say? There's something else I was going to say. Can't remember. All right. Anyways, let's go to the weekly. Yesterday went well, though. Okay. My action plan was going to see if CPI goes for the major liquidity. Wow, I have a lot of grammar issues there. Liquidity below, and then mean reverts higher, closing on with a red day, but a higher low, or look for CPI show we're going to weekly target higher, right? Which we did not do either. Right now we have a red weekly candle. We went higher, came down a little bit, right? We came lower than we closed lower, right? With some volume, I should mention as well. The high that we swept, if we go to the daily, let me open up today's daily plan, actually. Okay, I did these things, boom, boom, boom. So I was a little bit behind. Guys, stretching feels really good. Sup, Paulo? Sup, Neek? Welcome back, welcome back. The squad is here. The core team is here. We had a high volume red doji on the daily, which means we are very likely to sweep the other side of the structure. I can see us coming down to 59.31. Say 59.31. It's the wrong one or wrong button. Oh my goodness, what the hell? 59.31 today, I can see within reason. Let me make sure I'm on the right chart. I'm not. this one for the 1 day. Okay. Came to the edge of this daily shelf already, right? So there's that downside target there. That was a weekly target we called yesterday, downside target. Okay. Relatively higher volume red doji closed yesterday, which means we're going to come down to the next level. Now we're on the daily chart. On the lower time frames, it's just prior day high, prior day low, blah, 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 right? On the daily, we kind of have to go for nodes and structure. So we swept this, very, very likely coming down to at least 59.30. We might come down to this other level. Oh, excuse me. It's early. This other level down here. So I'm going to get rid of edge of the daily shelf, right? This level already got tapped, right? Nice clean touch at that level there on the daily. Structure also changed since yesterday since we had more volume fill in, right? That's why it doesn't look as clean as it did yesterday because we interacted with that level. So there's still a little node there. We can fill in some of these other dates in here. There's that node a little bit more pronounced. Here is this low and this next shelf down here. So I can see 59.33 as well as traversing this down to 58.89. Okay, so we're looking at this node, or we do the full traversal down to this level that's still marked 58.55. Right, so I'm going to put a level here. All right, and let's call this, change the color. And let's call this price target 1 lower. Whoa. So it's price target 1 lower, and this will be price target 2 lower. Let's give it a name or delete it. It's not what we want to do. It's not what we want to do at all, folks. Greg, we got Dallin. Paolo. What's up, man? Had a nice day yesterday as well. Nice little. I think I took 3 trades total yesterday. All right, so let me go ahead and take a screenshot of this. Copy this image. We're going to go to our macro analysis. I didn't write anything for the weekly because not much has changed there. Okay, so let's just say on the daily, we traversed the node to the downside target we marked yesterday and closed with a relatively higher volume red doji. That should signal a rotation lower to the next shelf on the daily, which I've highlighted as PT1. Now, we are in an uptrend still, so even though we have a red doji, I wouldn't necessarily think this thing's going to just go down forever, right? We have a red doji after sweeping these highs. Okay, we swept a few of these highs on the daily, coming towards all-time highs. So just keep that in mind. Don't get too crazy on the downside. It's a nice little short signal of the daily. We got Tyler in the house. What's good, bro? Oh, I'm tired as hell today, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. Do you live stream in the Discord, Forrest? Right now, it's just soul streaming in the Discord. I used to. I might go back to it if I can find some more time. The spread very thin right now. I still hang out in the Discord though. But Soul is the other VP trader in our community. He's in there. He's in there streaming, and he's really good. He's really good as well. So that's the daily. Let's just do NQ real quick. See what we got here. All right, NQ obviously is a very similar story, right? High volume red doji, right? Swept the highs, should signal rotation lower. We did already have an open down, right? Straight off the close of that daily candle. Right, came down, touched the trend line. Same thing on NQ. We have a shelf lower here. So let's see if we crack and traverse this node. I'm going to do 21,464. Honestly, though, I do think we might traverse the shelf on the 21. Let's do the 160, right? So I already have a level marked down here. This 21,160. Might refine it a little bit. But we have these previous lows down here as well and the edge of this auction. So we'll do 21,472 as our price target one lower. Okay, and this will be price target two lower. Higher is the top of this doji. We have to traverse this node, right? So this action here in the daily is still in this node here, very well defined here on NQ. Right, so the price target higher is literally just the one that we already had marked, 21,975, right? Or this high here. It's literally the same price. Okay, just a bounce there. If we respect this trend line, I don't think that we will, but we might. It's a possibility, right? I think that's a lower chance because of this red close. I think we cycle lower on this day, and then we get a green candle, at least. But we'll see. So that's the 1 day. Let me mark this up, or actually copy this, add this to our plan in the old chart, or the old Notion. Okay, NQ daily closed, daily moved overnight right down to the bottom of the trend line, bottom of the shelf, and tapped the trend line. Okay, this is a pivot point, but I think we move lower. Okay, that's what I'm gonna write. But you guys can't really see my plan perfectly. See if that fixes it. Is that better? That's better. Okay, at least read it. So others stream and bounce ideas off each other's. It's just me and Soul. So me and Soul stream. We have a community of people. So Soul and I basically met each other, and we kind of co-developed this system basically. But nah, it's not a. I mean, I've considered opening a place where everyone can talk on voice. We have a trading floor though, where everyone talks and bounces idea off each other. But yeah, it's just Soul that's streaming, and everyone else is a part of the community. Let's go to the 4 hour. I'm gonna go back to ES though. We have data at 8:30 again, by the way, which is really important to notate here. So let's just add that here. On the weekly, even though we don't have a chart, I'm going to say, as noted before, our weekly candle is going to mostly be formed during our tier 1 events. Okay, Monday and Tuesday were choppy, and now we're getting some action. Okay, so when you're doing your daily planning, just remind yourself of these ideas. You don't have to write everything down, but I'm going to write it down in this case, just so you guys know that I'm thinking of it. It's important. Well, yeah, okay, we should expect most of our move on the weekly to happen during these tier 1 data days, right? So we had CPI yesterday, we have PPI today, okay? So I'm pretty sure it's PPI. Let me double check. I'm saying a lot of words. PPI, core PPI, PPI, month over month, and unemployment claims. There's a lot of shit, a lot of stuff coming out today. All right, let's take a off topic. Did I find an editor? I got a lot of messages that I have not had time to respond to. Uh, but yeah, I think amongst the applications, I think I'll find someone. We're moving lower here in the morning. 7:56. Let's see if we come down and traverse this down to 59.62 maybe here in the morning. Really interested what we do here before 8:30. We did just sweep these lows here, prior day lows. I guess they were swept, but yeah. Bearish move coming down again. Price target one is lower down at 59.3225. All right. So on the micro, which I consider anything under the daily, I know I'm a very slow trader. 4 hour, not much difference here. Okay. I am going to notate we are moving lower here at 8 a.m. T minus 30 until data. Let's see if it does a fast mean reversion or just slaps us down to price target one lower. I have no idea what this data candle is going to do, by the way. I'm not going to play it. I'm going to do what I did yesterday and play the reaction. I had a perfect day yesterday, by the way. It's very rare. Like every time I say that, I say it's rare, but I only mention it when it happens. All right, so yeah, not too much actually going on here. So there's this pronounced node here, okay, that we've already traversed. That's what the screenshot's for. I don't need to really mention anything on it. There's really nothing of significance here, right? I'm going to add our session volume profile and go down to the 1 hour. Okay, so now we're going to zoom in. We're going to get rid of some of the data way back. Now I'm looking for naked POCs, anything like that. There's an obvious naked POC higher, okay? So if we do rip higher, we have 6,050, which is really close to the 6,053 level, right? So let's just say on the 1 hour, we have a naked POC above. So if we rip a fat up candle, that'll probably be the target, okay? In addition to that, we also have, just in this relative last few days of structure, the edge of this shelf right here, right? So it's a very pronounced node right here, okay? So on the way to that, also aligned with some of the VP of yesterday, we have the 6,030 level, okay? And I'm just gonna write that out here. We also have this 6,030 level on the 4 to 5 day VP, where we've accumulated quite a bit of volume. You guys don't hear my music, do you? Should turn that on for you. Got some good jams. I don't know what it'll do to the stream, but we'll figure that out later. Any questions so far? Also, guys, please like the stream. Help a brother out. I do mean help in the literal meaning of that word. I'll crank these numbers. So that's what we have on the hour. So let's take a look at what has happened. We did get this nice 4 a.m. relatively higher volume. Let me increase the volume here. So there was higher volume on this green candle at 4 a.m. So we came down and retested 80 to 90% of this. If we don't bounce right now, basically come down to 6,002 before data, we're probably going to have a very, very strong down candle, in my opinion, okay? All the way down to that price target lower, right? Or I could even see no man's land down here, 59.62, but yeah, I'm thinking lower. Something that I want to look at on the daily actually is just do some very, very simple TA. Just measure the size of the candles. You can use an indicator for this, by the way, just like a daily ATR indicator. It tells you the average ATR across the last few days. I like to just look at it, keep it simple, Okay, so yesterday did 69 points-ish. Doesn't need to be perfect. The day before did 58. Cool. We're already down 44 points. So let's just go to 60, 65. It means we would have a pretty outsized day, 100-point day if we get to our PT1 lower. So we could mean revert. It's very possible we have an outsized day, right? We have 100-point candles here. The VIX has popped up, right? VIX retested that VIX pivot at 1701 that I have marked here. Volatility has popped back up here, 1874. So if this rips higher, VIX rips higher, let's do a little alert here, actually, at these highs here. Let's just say VIX crossing 20. 24, let's just say 2044, whatever. If that happens, then yeah, we could have that 100-point candle. And then we likely have a green or up day on Friday. Possibly. We'll see. Or we could rotate all the way down to price target 2 on Friday. But yeah, bearish so far here in the morning. And of course, we'll just do our due diligence, go over to NQ. All right. Normally, I don't swap around charts like this, but you guys can't see my wide-ass screen. Okay, and it is wide. This thing is, it's wide. It's like a bus. Screen on it. Curved bus. Curved bus of a screen. First time here. Welcome back. Heartstrings. Also, welcome Will. QQQ Trader, welcome back. I can see it hit at least the low of the swing around big figure 21,500. 21.5. Yep, same zone. Around here, the edge of this node here. You could refine it a little bit. The reason I like this here is there's a pivot, right? NQ, either NQ or ES is going to go for a sweep, right, before it bounces. Sometimes there's a divergence. Normally, ES will sweep, and then NQ won't sweep. And that'll still give it the trade. If NQ sweeps and ES doesn't, I will not be taking the trade. Okay? Even if it plays out in my favor, those are just so low quality, drawn out, structurally trades. I'll miss that action. But if ES does a structural sweep and NQ doesn't, I'll take the trade on NQ knowing that ES is the leader. Okay? If it looks good enough. Sometimes if I see where volume is stacking on NQ and it looks more like it's delayed, not that it's front running it, then I'll wait for them both to sweep. If I see that, I'll call it out. So what's my action plan? What's my plan of attack? I'll tell you guys right now. What I'm thinking. I'll take a little sip of this water. Yo, that's some freaking jams coming on. All right, so I'm not going to mark out our 4 levels. Actually, let's just talk about the 4 levels. Okay, the four key areas. Also, if you're new here, I should mention, make sure you get this template. So this 30-day challenge, what we're doing is we're planning our trades every day. Part of what's made me successful as a trader is journaling, so reviewing and planning. Okay, you need to have a plan before the day. You need to know what your levels are for the day. You need to know what your hands are. A plan isn't saying I'm only going to do this necessarily. It's more so if I see this, I'll do this. If I see this, I'll do this. And it's narrowing down the likely scenarios, okay, narratively, based off of what the auction is showing us. So I'm an auction market theory trader. Okay, that's why I use the volume profile. I care really about where people are positioned. People are going to react to their positions, okay? So come and grab yourself this. There's a link in the description. Go to my stand store. The link to the Discord is at the top of the document as well. Okay, I got a little intro video for you all because I love you. I love you guys. No one's told you they love you today. Well, it's probably your fault, but I love you. Grab this. Okay, I have videos, 7 videos in here explaining how I read candlesticks, how I do measured moves, what a naked POC is, what trend lines are, how to play the trend, volume profile, and the 2 setups that I trade with. I put everything in here. So if you've got questions, obviously you can ask them now, but also do some homework, watch these videos. Okay, we took some time to put them there. And then here's our daily calendar where we're tracking everything. Okay, go back to our plan. Action plan for today, talk about our 4 key areas, right? So prior day high, prior day low, overnight high, overnight low. Current overnight low is right here, 21,712. We'll mark it. We're going to get rid of it though. It's too close. Okay. Overnight is everything. Whoops. Do that color right there. So let's just mark them all out. Prior day high. And then the overnight high is here. Okay. Prior day low, off the table. So we just have 3 levels. Prior day high. Whoa, whoa, whoa. PDH. All right, it really doesn't want me to label this line, huh? Just let me do that. Prior day high, overnight high, and our overnight low, which we are bouncing off of. See if we come back to that POC. I'm going to add it right here. POC NQ 21,818. We've got data in 23 minutes. Okay, I have a very clear D shape. So I'm imagining that we're going to come up here before this data here. Back to our POC. Back to balance. So these are the 4 levels that I care to interact with. These are where the A trades are. If you watch my videos, I think I mentioned in there, if you've taken my course or coaching program, an A setup is where we basically can read the future. Okay. There's probably some more A setups that I could add to that, but an A setup is at an edge with a signal candle. Right, our signal candles are relatively higher volume. Shooting star dojis are hammer candles, right, going in the direction of the trade that we want. That rarely happens, but when it happens, that's where I leverage up quite a bit. Okay, it doesn't really matter the time frame. So we have a really good signal candle on the daily, for example. Okay, high volume red candle right there. The other signal candle that we had, by the way, was the weekly high volume up candle doji on the weekly. And then look what happened after that. It's a little FYI for y'all. Okay, so they rarely happen, but when they do, they play out pretty well. Okay, so let us go back so I can finish making the point I was making. These are the 4 areas where I look every single day for my RTH intraday trades. Okay, these are the prices I care about. Now, even if you don't get a signal candle, like even days like these other days during the week, these are still the prices that I care about, right? We keep getting these D-shaped VPs. If you just short like at the edge of the VP, or sorry, don't short. If you go long at the low side of a VP like this and go short at the top side, you can literally just play the VP, guys. Now, if you ignore the candlesticks, don't have signal candles, you might be holding that trade for a while. But what is time? Time's going to pass anyways. It's such a fundamentally important thing that if you can just get used to it and just understand trade it, that you can just trade liquidity, you'll do just fine, right? So I've been doing that a lot more recently, taking more trades without signal candles just based off the VP, knowing that price has to get sucked back in, okay? It has to when we have these VPs, okay? And also if you trade the edges anyways, or if you're trading, like if you're longing below value area low and you're going short above value area high, your R is very, very good on those trades because you're trading the edges, right? That's why we trade the volume profile edges. It's crazy. It's crazy, I know. Someone smart invented that system. So I'm going to write down, I'll be looking for trades around our 4 key areas, 4 key levels, of course, but additionally paying very close attention to when we grab the major levels I marked on the daily. Great example, as soon as we tapped this level yesterday, oh man, this is a jam. Get my 4 hour, hold up guys. When we tapped this, this was a nice little long opportunity. Now it didn't bounce all the way up, right? But nice little long. Okay, we went to the edge of the shelf. Sorry, there was this first touch right here, 2 o'clock. We touched this, and we came all the way back up here. Let's go to the, what am I on? The, whoops. Let's go to the 15 so we can kind of see what that bounce looked like, right? First reversal of the shelf, very, very strong reaction, right? 30-point bounce. Now it did continue lower, which is fine, okay? But use your VP to trail, and you can see that there's a nice node here that has since formed, and we traversed it, and we're pushing lower, okay? Again, because we have the red close on the daily. So pay attention to those levels on the daily. I already took that one off, okay, at the beginning of this call because it's out of play, I guess. Already tapped it, but we'll see that that node is still here, right? Let's get it back on our screen here. Come on, okay. This is that node that we're trading inside of right here, okay. So I'll be looking for the 4 key areas, but really I'm looking for us to interact the levels that I marked on the daily coming up here in 18 minutes. Okay, aside from that, I will not be trading into the data candle. Just like yesterday, I will trade the reaction and the rest of the day. Very, very simple, okay? So I am biased lower here just because of yesterday's daily close. Again, we're still in an uptrend though. Okay, as long as we do a higher low above this low, by the way, 57, 54, we're still going to be in an uptrend, okay, technically. So just keep that in mind. It's okay to have these deep cuts, okay, in price action, and we could still be trending. The market does not go in a vertical line, okay? Just keep that in mind. Where are the videos? In the description of the stream. Oh, thank you, Shane. Shane, look at this. Oh, yeah, you guys figured it out. Cool, cool, cool. Forrest, when we retrace during an uptrend, I have a hard time seeing how long the retracement will last. Just go target by target. Okay, so that's why I have a price target 1 and a price target 2. I don't know how long the retracement will last either. I do know that it either is going to bounce right here, right now, right? Especially with NQ being on a trend line. That's a good question, actually. So how do we know how long it'll last? I have no idea. It's really hard to just snipe a reversal in the macro trend. Okay, what you could have done is just slapped on a short on yesterday's close and you just hold it and you just trail. Okay, it's a very viable strategy. Just hold it and you trail and then you go target by target, right? I'm going to remove these 4 key levels. Don't need those, right? Just think of those. Don't need them on our chart. Like my charts to be pretty clean. So price target 1 is just the next shelf. Price target 2 is just the other node. Can the market do literally anything else? Sometimes it will. Sometimes it'll be choppier to get to these targets. It won't be like a one-day thing. But in general, the market is it will react at these prices. Like it does. It always does, always has. That's why I trade this way. Like it will do that. So I would just go target by target, and then you have to trail using structure. So it's what Sol and I always say. It's like you don't just trail based off of price or 50 to 60%. It's like if I get to this node here and I tap it, I need to be aware, right? Let me actually draw the scenario out. So if we come down to here, okay, this is an inflection point. So I have a decision to make once we get to this price target where it's like, okay, how much of a first reaction touch do I want to deal with, knowing that it's going to do that before it goes lower? It's not going to rip, but it's not going to just rip between both these nodes. Most likely it could, but most likely it's going to react here a little bit and then continue lower. So you have to trail understanding what the normal structure is, right? Now we could get a data candle and this thing just, goes straight down to PT2, which is, possible, but that just, those are odds. It's poker. It's poker, right? That's why you get this position. If you're positioned short up here or short off the close, right, off the signal, if you're short off the signal, you're chilling, right? So you'll never manage a trade perfectly. I have perfect trades sometimes, and those are just a percentage of all the trades you take using the system will be perfect. A large majority of percent will not be perfect, but they'll be very profitable. But you're never going to capture 100% EV of a move. You just, I mean, technically you could do that by just being an investor, just buying all the time. Neither here nor there. So that is the plan for today. We've got data in 14 minutes, folks. So let's see what happens. I was going to stream from my stage again today, but I worked out very late last night, so I did not do that. Let's see what my lawyer has read this thing yet. Let me see these DMs, see if I can find an editor. Shouldn't have went to space all night. Bro, I've actually never been to space in my 4 years of being here. I've been to a few places. I've never went to space, though. I've never made it. I used to, when I lived in New York City, I would do quite a few. I'm not against going there. It's just that I'm older, so like I'm not gonna go there randomly. Like if I had like some people that I knew I liked, or if I knew the DJ. Like I like electronic music. I used to go to like festivals and shows quite a bit. But yeah, I'm not gonna just go on like a random Friday and to just some random DJ. Like it has to be a set that I know I'm gonna enjoy. I'm not trying to listen to some influencer hit play. You know what I mean? Can't have people touching and sweating on me. The touching and the sweat's the best part, though, brother. That's the best part, though, brother. But it's gotta be. You gotta be amongst. You gotta be amongst friends, though. You gotta be in a sea of vibes. But yeah, I've never went. Palm Tree Club is a spot. Dallas said, "Hey yo, I've been to Palm Tree Club. We gotta do something, bro. Let me actually, if you're free this weekend, just come to the studio, man. Let's rip a pod. Let's rip something. Dope. Yeah, I'll shoot you a text. I'll shoot you a text, bro. We'll get something happening. Ooh, man. We've got T-minus 11 minutes until data. Let's see if we are coming back to this POC on either of these tickers. We'll go to the 1 hour on both. See what we got here. Look at that. Coming back to the point of control. Someone smart may have mentioned that literally a few minutes ago. Gonna DM me. Oh, you got hacked. Dang, bro. You gotta get LastPass. Get password manager. So we're moving back to the point of control. Okay, you could have longed that call out I mentioned earlier. Did I long it? Nah. But you could have. Okay. 10 minutes. We actually finished ahead of time today, which is crazy. I don't know how we did that. So let's just talk about what else is in this spreadsheet for those of you who are new here. If you're new to Notion, okay, there's all that stuff in here. Also, the other thing that I added, which you should use, there's this daily rating on every day. The point of this is after you do your 3 wins, so my 3 daily wins before I start trading, before I sit at my desk and I'm hunched over like this, like a freaking gremlin, okay? I go stretch on the roof. I'm in Miami, so, for me, it's enjoyable. Depends on where you live, what the weather is. Drink a cup of water. Really simple, right? Got my empty glass of water, like second or third glass actually, and I'll watch a motivational video. Okay. The last one's actually really important. You want to start your day with some positivity. Okay, a lot of people struggle with watching like positive, like motivational, inspirational stuff because it's cringy. But that's because you don't believe that that stuff is possible for yourself. And so you're experiencing cognitive dissonance at the process. And you just need to accept it. Stop being a little crybaby. I'll be nice. But do it. Just do it. If you feel hesitation to listening to positivity, ask yourself why you don't have any hesitation to absorb negative news or negativity on a constant basis, which is the default. Okay, you have to take ownership over the state of your mind. A very simple way to do that is to just hear some positive stuff every single day, at least in the morning. But yeah, go ahead, get this document, okay? Put in how you feel, right? I'm feeling like a 9 today. Put that in there. And then, of course, we have our 2 setups. So our 2 setups, show you the template. Okay, let me full screen this so you can see it. Okay. You'll have to watch the videos for what the 2 setups are, but we got a mean reversion trade. We literally just had one that I mentioned, right? So we have the D-shaped mean reversion back to balance, right, at the point of control. We haven't come all the way back up here, but I imagine we'll tap it here in the next 8 minutes before data. Okay, but just trading into the mean. So you'll mention what of the key levels was swept. Fill this out, the time frame that the signal candle is on, the type of signal candle, the volume, whether it's slightly higher time of the day, psychology. Over time, what you're able to do, Abhishek, one of the admins from the MFTV, welcome. Good morning, brother. I will see you soon. So you fill this out, and what you're able to do is over time, okay, I've also added tags, right? So we're still in an uptrend, okay? And I'll add one, we'll do PPI. Okay, PPI and unemployment claims. Okay, over time, when you've done this, you'll have a database and you'll be able to very clearly see, and I'm telling you this from experience, based off of how many of your actual checkboxes are checked, how good or the difference between your good performing trades and your poor performing trades. That's the point of having a system, right? So I have turned my system around volume profile, which does have discretion, but this is really helps me determine the difference between A setups, B setups, C setups. All right, if you're taking trades, you're not able to check off a lot of these, and you're like, man, these trades aren't working out. Well, put 2 to 2 together, simple math. What is a volume profile? So yeah, there's 2 that I use, is the session volume profile HD, but I have special settings. Okay, so the SVP, you just type in SVP space HD. But in my settings, I change my up volume, my down volume, everything to gray, right? So if I actually just delete it, I'll show you what it looks like when you re-add it. Session volume profile HD. So you first add it, it's going to give you all these colors and stuff. Don't need it, not necessary. So up volume, I go to the gray 4 from the top left, gray, 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 right? And then my POC, we'll leave that on. Change that to red though, so we can see it. Value area high, value area low. I'm going to check those. Make this purple. I've done this so many times. Purple, right? On the inputs. Oh yeah, I don't need to change it for here. That's it. So you could extend these, POCs, value area high, value area low, right? I'm not going to do that. That's too much. Okay. And that's it. So you get the indicator. Then I do the same thing for the visible. This other indicator on the right is the visible range volume profile. So it shows the volume profile for whatever's on the screen right now, right? And I seem to have messed up something. Let me just go back to the one I had before, honestly. Boom, easier. Easier than fixing that one. All right. 5-ish minutes until, or really 4 minutes until data. Hey, it's Gabriel. What's up, brother? Welcome back to the party. Best place on the internet right here. Trading with Forrest. That should be the intro of my videos. Do you want to trade with me? I'm not going to do that, guys. It's a little... I mean, you know what I want to do today? I haven't shot. I don't go to the range. I don't know if my guns will work anymore. I don't know if I can say guns on stream. Just did. I have no idea how the YouTube live stream algorithm works, guys. Man, we're freaking jamming, dude. Okay, remember, data's coming. Zoom out. One of the mistakes that a lot of people make on these tier 1 data events is they're trading like this, and then you end up chasing, right? We did all this work for our target, so we're going to zoom way out. Okay, we're inside this node on the daily. Remember, 21,757 up to 21,975, right, is this node on the higher time frames. If we continue lower, we have a price target lower based off of the daily. These levels are based off of the daily. Okay, keep that in mind. Don't forget about them. They are the primary targets. My day trades are mostly, the really good ones are based off of the daily chart. Okay, so yes, you can trade the lowers, but you want to think about, what is the daily candle going to do? What does the day look like? Because I'm hunting for the low of the day and the high of the day. Okay. And as certain levels get tapped as well, you got to ask yourself, what options remain for the day? Okay, that'll stop you from shorting the low at 2 p.m., right? And other things like that. Pass-through accounts, got to go slow now. Good work. Let's fucking go. Love that. Pass-through accounts. Love that. Love all that. Love all the things that are happening. Is my camera just crooked? I think it is. We're jamming. We got 1 minute. There's no POCs below us either that are naked. I'm just going to remove that. All right, guys. Let's see where we go. I need to tell my team as well. I'm going to have to change my stream time by like 5 minutes for this meeting time. What do we have today? Let's see. Where's half of my wonderful employees are gone? They're out of the office today. 28 seconds. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's see. What are we going to get? 3 seconds. 1 second. It's doing some stuff. It's going up. It's going down. Really only 2 options, huh? So notice we tapped the POC there. Okay. POC tapped. Came the balance. Okay. NQ POC still up there on the 1 hour. If we balance out from data, then I'll basically just be waiting till 10 a.m. to take a trade. Okay. The obvious trade was the one I mentioned when we retested 90% of this. Okay. And I said it was going to go to POC, right? That was the first obvious trade of the day, at least since I got up, right? I didn't trade overnight. Nice D-shaped mean reversion trade, classic trade. Let's see what we get. So far, data has just brought us to balance. So not very sexy of it, you know? Not very swaggy of our data. Take a risk, CHK. What's good, my friend? Welcome to the best place on the internet. Trading with Forrest. Probably. I don't know. Who's keeping track? Not me. Came up here, tested POC, and we're just chilling. So what do we do in a scenario like this? Immediately, I'm disinterested in anything before 10 a.m. Okay, now maybe this rips here in a minute or two. I'm not going to trade out of balance, right? So we had one obvious setup. 90% of my trades are mean reversions. That being said, on the daily, we still have the prior. Yesterday was the red doji. Okay, so we could look for shorts today, looking for this price target one lower, right? Once we crack this trend line. So the real key level at this point is if we're going to go level or lower, there's two things I could do. I could just look for a short up here at like 21,838. Okay, pre-confirmation short, assuming that the daily signal candle is going to take us across this node. Or I could wait for us to break the trend line, which would be pretty bearish at that point, and I'll just hold that short for lower, and we're probably going to go for PT2 anyways. Okay. Nonetheless, I'm smooth chilling. Okay. NQ POC shifted lower, so it has now achieved its balance as well. It's bouncing around a little bit. This is probably going to go for 818. So yeah, that was a trade right there. NQ trend line held us inside. So we're still inside this node here. Okay, this is the edge of that shelf. Okay, we're still inside of it. So not a very interesting data candle. Let's see what happens. Like yesterday, I'll be looking for some gamma trades today, right? Options trades. I know we're looking at futures charts, but we've had a very muted reaction to tier 1 data event. So around 132, I'll be looking to see if the market wants to give us some action in the afternoon with that injection of volatility. So I'll be back on the MFF stream here at 9. Come check out there. I'm going to take a little break, do this morning meeting for my business, make another coffee, go slap my girl's ass, and I'll be back. See y'all in a bit.